Today we are encountering an unimaginable state. All previous attempts to fix the financial system have been very straightforward. Lower interest rates and print money. The government will simply fill in the gaps wherever they could, and eventually the recovery would be back to normal. Since the financial crisis, clearly that did not happen. In fact, today it is very obvious what a flawed method this really is. They've exhausted all options, except of course confetti currency. Are you ready? You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. In yesterday's video, I specifically stated I need to move through it really quickly in order to get this done in one shot, but that didn't happen. I went way over, so I split it into two. This is the second half of it. There's a lot of important information. Whenever I go too long, I don't want to just get rid of that info, and I don't want to put it all into one video either if I can help it, if it's going beyond 20 minutes. So I like to split it up. So here it is. No more ranting. Let's begin. Neil, I want to be the Fed chairman, Kashkari, actually said something that I agree with. Can you believe it? Check this out. I don't know what the best policy solution is, but I know we can't just keep doing what we've been doing. As soon as there's a risk that hits, everybody flees, and the Federal Reserve has to step in and bail out that market. And that's crazy, and we need to take a hard look at that. This is Neil Kashkari saying that, and it's something that basically I have repeated over and over and over again. At the bottom, Brainerd, who's a Fed governor, said this: low interest rates were, quote, conducive to increasing risk appetite, reach for yield behavior, and incentives for leverage, thereby boosting imbalances in the U.S. financial system. Of course, you bring the interest rates down, people have to look for that yield, they have to find some investment that makes some money. They go off and buy these ridiculous derivatives. They put all their money into something, these different stocks that have PE ratios higher than the sky, and then you get booms and busts. They do it on purpose. But anyway, this is what we got to deal with. I'm going to run through these several charts from Real Investment Advice that I pulled up. What we're looking at here in these two, and the next one I believe is zombie companies. Zombies are everywhere. You don't have to worry about coming around the corner and grabbing you. This is a different type of zombie, but look at this on the left-hand side. US hits an all-time high in zombie companies, and I do believe that will get much worse in the coming year. On the right-hand side, zombie companies equal weighted, pulling ahead of the S&P 500. It's showing on these statistics here 10.7%. This one is the percentage of US zombie firms, giving us a total of 18.9%. So it depends on exactly how you're calculating it and so on. Doesn't really matter. What I look at here is the trend. Every year there are more and more and more zombie companies. Total system leverage, government, corporate, household, margin, banks, student loans are off the charts. That's that orange line there. And it compares it to the S&P 500. And guess what? They are moving together. I mean, look, it shows you it right here. They want to do this on purpose. They want to expand the debt because there's a natural deflation that they are encountering right now today, a natural deflation, which is good, which is part of a cycle. It is a natural event, and they are actually actively trying to push this up. No, we don't want that to happen. We want to force that up, and just like that beach ball effect, you push it down. The harder you push that beach ball under the water, the faster and the harder it comes back up right in your face. It's a big mistake. Federal Reserve balance sheet versus the S&P 500. You know that these move in lockstep. It's very clear as far as I'm concerned. This is the total system leverage, comparing that to the GDP. Guess which one is the total system leverage, and guess which is the GDP. Here we have Japan's GDP and the expansion of the Bank of Japan's assets. You're looking at the black line, which is their assets. They have increased just like all the other central banks. At the same time, we could see that interest rates have been moving down and down and down. Along with that, we have watched, just like basically all other countries, the GDP growth has also trended down. The lower the interest rates are going, along with it, we see growth. Isn't it interesting? This right here from the US essentially just shows that as time has been moving on, we've been getting less growth. I don't have time to get into this in depth, but pensions are really one of the most important topics because so many people depend on them. This article is out of Bloomberg. Perhaps I can use it if I have a video coming up about pensions. I like to actually highlight that as often as possible, but this is what it's about. These are the world's best and worst pension systems in 2020. They show you here on this chart how it breaks down. The US is given a C+, Canada and Australia and New Zealand look like they are B. You can move around and see the different countries. There's more fine print to it than that. I just thought I would show that to you because so many people rely on it. It's funny the way that things work. If this is a timeline, essentially the worker, let's say this 25, and then the retirement age that they believe they're going to retire at is 65. They think that, all right, well, I got this 40-year period in here where I'm going to be making money. During that period of time, my assets will increase 7% per year every single year for that 40 years. And they come up with this calculation. Okay, well, it's going to be this and that. I'm going to have, let's just make up a number here. I'm going to have $1 million by the time I'm 65, and I'll be able to live on that until I am 86 years old. I'll live happily ever after the end. Does anybody know somebody that had this life where along the way there were no bumps in the road? I mean, if that's the case, that's amazing. Excellent. Congratulations. Good for you. But for the average person, it doesn't work out that way. Two articles related to robots and automation replacing jobs really quickly. Flippy, the $30,000 automated robot fast food cook, is now for sale with demand through the roof. See how it grills burgers, fries, and onion rings. $30,000 looks like it can replace probably 2 people. You make your money back in a year or potentially less. And this just shows you what they are doing. I think that people would probably love this system. You don't have to worry about somebody doing something to your burger. You don't have to get hair in your food. You can probably make it in half the time. This is where things are headed, whether we like it or not. And then we have this smoothie making bot at Walmart signals the rise of the robot fast food worker. Same situation essentially, but this is for smoothies. They're trying to go into every avenue wherever a robot can replace a worker. I really think that companies will go in this direction. So you stayed until the end. Well, if you did, you get the rant GPS. Here we go. Every single day I think about the financial system, I think about the economy, and I think about how the average people react. And I'm going to try and add more information to the Money GPS. So you get the daily videos 100%, but I want to do new things on top of that. I don't know exactly through what medium, I don't know exactly what method yet, but essentially I want to create something more specific, more information based on what I provide in that daily news to hopefully help people out. If you do have suggestions, of course, please list them in the comment section, not just on this video, but any video. I'm trying to provide people with resources, with information. I do have a e-course that is completely free. I also have the how-to and solutions, but I want to do something else, something deeper, something more specific. For those who don't know, I've already mentioned this, I believe, twice before, but I am working on an actual full program. This course is the financial education system that people need, but I know that this will take a long time, and I want to also provide something for free to people that is available consistently. So I don't know if that will be in shorter clips, let's say, or it's going to be something on a different platform altogether. I just want to be very helpful to people in their real world lives. I also want to get the word out of this channel because clearly the subscribers have started to fall, and make this more applicable to people that are not like you and I necessarily. We love the data. If you're here to the end of this video, you're listening to the rant, you love data, you love information, and that's what this channel is all about, and it will always be about that. I'm not going to change that, I'm not going anywhere from that. But at the same time, I want more people to be getting the financial education that they need, because you know it's terrible. You're talking amongst a group of people and it is just completely complete oblivion. Nobody has any idea of what's going on. They're talking about political nonsense, and meanwhile, the Fed, the financial elites are actually moving all these pawns around, and they don't even know what's really going on. The central bankers are in complete command of what happens on a daily basis, and they make it seem in the media as if there's much more to this. When you look at, is the stimulus deal going to be passed? Is it going to be passed? Oh my goodness, the fiscal cliff. Are we really going to raise the debt ceiling? And they freak out and they bring it up in the media, and oh my goodness, it's beyond the bore. It's annoying. So I understand a lot of people where they're coming from. They don't necessarily share my information with their family because they've gotten to a place where it's just beyond repair. But if I could create other types of information, maybe really short, concise pieces that are available either on this platform or another, or maybe it's a post in a text format. I've also thought of taking little clips of the videos that I do and posting smaller clips, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 minute clips of that. Those are easier to share, or perhaps getting the videos converted somehow into like a blog post, have somebody do that and put that information out, maybe on my website or whatever it might be. I'm just ranting at this point, but I'm trying to get some ideas as I dig through this, as I work on the full program. That's a whole different story. That's going to be revolutionary, and I really believe that. But I'm taking my time with it. It's been a project that I've been really working on for years at this point, but it is part-time amongst all the other things I got going on. So anyway, I'm going to end it there. If you found the video informative, obviously give me a thumbs up. I want to thank each and every one of you for your support. It is really, really fantastic to see it on a daily basis, and I just want to extend my thank yous again and again and again. Take care.